Beba begi is a conventional Kiswahili name to basically mean carry your bag. So beba means carry, begi means bag. It's directly tied to our problem, or rather the problem that we are primarily solving, which is movement with luggages and bags, or rather valuables within the CBD and busy setups. Where this innovation is based currently, Nairobi is the ninth most unsafe and insecure city in Africa, and that is driven by the fact that a lot of, I mean, 53.3% of all cases that are reported to the authorities are as a result of lost valuables among commuters, robbery and mugging. And if you keenly look at it, then that means you're talking of only one kind of a crime being reported repeatedly to the authorities. So we saw a gap there, and this is coming from an experience that I did have myself, but it's way long time ago. I think that's over 10 years now, and it was during the rush hour. So in Nairobi, there's usually this heavy movement of people, and they're switching buses. People struggle, and I want to get the best seat, and I don't want to miss the seat within the bus. So you're carrying your laptop at that time, but then there's definitely somebody within that same line who is not necessarily going for the bus. They're going for your valuable. So by the time we had gotten our seats inside the bus, my bag was lighter, and only to realize my laptop was gone. So initially I'd already started building this product, but at the time I was just building it out for fun. And to be honest, there were quite a lot of products that I was actually focused on. There was no clear picture of what I wanted to do at the time. So this experience did bring out the anxiousness, or rather the curiosity. It brought in the curiosity to basically just explore and actually understand how many people are experiencing this. And to my huge surprise, there was a very huge magnitude of people within Nairobi that were actually affected by this. And I did further research, and I saw that this was actually something to pursue. There was nobody actively doing it in the way they were doing it. And so I don't know, from then we officially went into Africa Stocking as a founding company under the studio company in 2019 in July, and we were able to set up a locker. So this is actually my initial setup. That's my campus desks. You can see a lot of stuff is just dumped everywhere at the time of this building, anything that came to mind. And then in 2018, this is actually over 5 years apart. That's when I started building the first prototype, and within some few months I was done. But that's the best I could get because I didn't have enough funding at the time. So the first picture you're seeing here is basically a plastic of the product. At the time, this was just a matter of telling people that this is how the product will look like, this is what we're working towards. And then in 2019, we built the first POC, that is the proof of concept, that actually did attract a lot of attention from the target market. What we were doing at the time is we were making a lot of noise on social media. And there was, I think that's also the time that we did make a very huge partnership with a local manufacturing company. So what they do, or rather what they have been doing, is they make the hard body of the physical locker hardware. So, but for us, we are coming in as a tech company. So we found a way in which we could merge our ventures into one to create the concrete product that later went to market in 2021. Now, the latest version of our lockers are accumulative of quite a number of things, and these has actually attracted some really huge customers. We recently closed our biggest B2B sales, or rather client. That's after we went to market in June 13th here in Nairobi. Our target market are usually the young people. So these are people moving in, probably going through campus. So these are developers, software developers who work with very heavy machineries and laptops. There's also the event factor. We have these lockers. We have these mobile lockers that we move to events for storage during events, or rather in events, as well as charging ports for the phones. So the user journey for both customers is kind of the same. The user will only be required to put in their phone number, and create a password. It's as simple as that. We do not necessarily require anybody to sign in, like, hey, put in your email, blah, blah, blah. No, we don't need all that. So in Kenya, we do have a payment platform dubbed M-Pesa. Pesa means money in Swahili, and the M part means mobile. So it's basically mobile money. So the way M-Pesa works is users are able to have a virtual wallet on their SIM toolkit that they can access and use to make payments. So we actively engage with that platform and make it automated. So there's a way in which a prompt is pushed on your phone, and the only thing you just need to do is accept that, yes, this is the payment I want to make, and put in your M-Pesa PIN. The payment is unchecked on the other side, and the locker opens. So we do have different packages. We have B2B, that is business to business. We have B2C, that is business to customer. So the one that has actually drawn so much attention towards our product is the B2C. So these are the lockers that we own and deploy within town. So one of the things that we usually do is we do not have a specific shop that is dubbed the Babegi shop. No, we don't do that. What we do is we partner with existing businesses. So it's probably a salon, a cyber cafe, a coffee shop, or something like that. They give us a space for the lockers. They give us also access to electricity, and then we list them as our agents. So once we do that, we post them on our website. And once we post them on our website, they're getting marketing in two senses. One, by the virtue of us listing them, our customers will be able to know, oh, there's a coffee shop around this street. So fine, I'll go have my coffee there. And then additionally, we give them 10% from the revenues. So users can also be able to, if you go through our website and you go to the locations page, users are able to actually get down to the pin drop of the actual location that these lockers are in. So once they arrive there, they can use the lockers from as little as $0.6. That's around, actually $0.3. That's around 60 shillings here in Kenya. That's around 50 shillings in Kenya. And so we charge based on size and time. So one of the things with the lockers is there are different sizes. There's small, medium, large, and extra large. So depending on the size of your luggage, you get to choose a locker. So this is actually part of the user journey. So you'll put in your phone number. The next thing it will check is if there is available lockers. If there is available locker, it will tell you the sizes. You will select the available sizes that suits your needs, and then you'll create a PIN, and the locker will be allocated. You put in your items, you lock, no padlocks, nothing. Once you lock and you proceed just the way you want. And then when you come back, you'll enter the same phone number, you'll enter the PIN again, and then a payment prompt will now be pushed towards your phone. You will make the payments and the locker will open. It's an easy user journey. We don't necessarily even need somebody to text every to use this. So one of the things that we usually do with our agents is we tell them that just make sure you counter check whatever you put into these lockers. So one of the biggest issues that we face, one of the biggest questions that we get a lot is how secure are these lockers on two aspects. One, for the customer's items, and then secondly, to counter things like people using the lockers for malicious activities, selling drugs, terrorism and stuff like that. So one of the things that we do, and this is a non-negotiable for our agents, is we do have to do a security, we conduct a security protocol. That is a measure just to make sure that these lockers are situated in secure locations. So one of the things that we do is we deploy these lockers only in buildings where there is proper frisking at the entrance. So that means we take care of the security of be it the illegals, be it the terrorism and everything. So by the time you're going through this building, the security is not entirely about the Babegi lockers. It's on the part of users' items. Can somebody else come and access my items? We use a technology that is called end-to-end encryption. So that means data from the hardware is processed as they are sent in bags. It's kind of really hard to explain in an untechnical manner, but what that means is the customer data cannot be cracked when it's in transit.
Are there plans to extend to other African countries and eventually to the rest of the world?
Yes, actually, plans are already underway. We were approached by the Rwandan government. Part of that conversation is still ongoing. on how we can use the lockers for digitalizing their postal address system. So sooner or later, one way or another, if you're receiving a parcel or a letter or an envelope or name it, whatever it is, if you're receiving it via the postal address, then you'll just simply need to go into the locker, key in your phone number, and you're able to get a text and check out easily automatically without going through the whole process of I have to visit the post office, I have to line in there, I have to give my ID, all this stuff is practically already taken care of. We are also looking into partnerships with companies in countries like Uganda, where we will be helping in fulfill last mile deliveries for boda boda riders. Boda boda is like a two-wheeler taxi, and they're used a lot actually in Africa. Let me just say in Africa, because even in Nigeria, East Africa, that like boda bodas or rather the motorcycles, they are quite a really huge part of the transport ecosystem. So we really want to also venture into that space and tell them, here's the thing. If you're doing multiple deliveries, you don't need to send multiple riders. You can just pick one rider doing multiple deliveries. So there's a lot of planned up for us. We're looking at deploying up to 2,500 lockers within the next 5 years all over East Africa. And progressively within the next 10 years, we want to conquer the African market. We are practically looking at ourselves like the next Amazon of Africa when it comes to logistics, supply chain, and security.